Welcome back to another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today we're looking at Payday 3. This one's been a long time coming, everybody. Payday 2 came out 10 years ago, which sounds crazy to me. It doesn't feel that old, but it is. Like, you can't argue with the actual release date. And for a while, it kind of didn't seem like we were ever going to get Payday 3. But the damn thing's here. It's not vaporware. It's real. And we're playing it. So as a little background, Payday 2 is one of my favorite co-op shooters. It's a game that's definitely gone a little overboard on the DLC, but it's one of the most unique and fun co-op experiences out there, period. With Payday 3, they went back to basics. They revamped and updated the core fundamentals in ways that may not sound like a lot, but they're actually pretty significant and, in my opinion, improvements. Before I get into that, though, let's quickly summarize what this game even is. In Payday 3, there's up to 4 people who team up and execute heists. Like every game in the series, you start off with something fairly light, like a local bank branch, before moving up to warehouses, nightclubs, art galleries, high-rise penthouses, each with their own objectives to complete in order to get in, get out, and get as much cash as possible. It's simple, but it's effective as hell. You start each mission at low profile, where you're limited to only a few actions, but as you case the place, spot cameras, steal key cards, you prepare. In the older games, that's generally how things would go, but Payday 3, there's a much greater emphasis on stealth. A lot of missions in this game, it's entirely possible to do the whole heist without getting caught or setting off alarms. With careful planning and coordination, a lot of the missions can be finished without even firing a shot, which is great. However, it doesn't mean shooting has been neglected. The feedback and overall feel of like the guns is easily the best the series has ever had. When the shooting really heats up, the odds feel absurd, even on normal, the easiest difficulty level. Nothing about this is especially realistic. You're gunning down guys by the dozens. The series has always been kind of cops and robbers versus Left 4 Dead. That's kind of the level of realism we're operating at here. But the whole thing really suits the game. And when you manage to survive with an especially overwhelming assault, it's freaking exhilarating. Like I said, I think the combat's better than it's ever been. But most of the new stuff really is the sneaking. That's where it comes to play. Overall, heists are more varied, they're more complex here than previous games. Even in a more old school mission like the big bank job, you're never just dropping a drill and defending it. There's always multiple layers of objectives to complete, and depending on the alarm level, what you're doing is completely different. Like one change I really appreciate in Payday 3 is that sneaking is a lot more forgiving. You can take human shields to protect yourself from getting shot, or you can just grab people, guard, move them to a safe position, choke them out, etc. When a guard goes down, you do have to answer the radio, otherwise the alarm is going to go off, but each person gets multiple calls they can answer before anyone gets wise to the deception, so it's possible to knock out or kill multiple guards without anyone noticing or sounding any alarms. If you remain low profile, getting caught in private areas is pretty forgiving, actually. Instead of trying to kill you immediately like in previous games, they just stop you and escort you back to a public zone. So even getting caught isn't that bad. There's a lot more stuff to do in each heist, which makes each mission a lot more interesting. Instead of just grabbing keys and drilling locks, you're hacking phones, you're opening doors. There's a new lock-picking minigame. It's simple. Like, I'm not telling you that it's like some revolutionary game-changing thing, but it does add a layer of tension to every door, especially if there's a camera nearby. There's keypads you got to find codes for, clues on computers. Sometimes you got to take certain people hostage and use them to open doors. In general, the mission design's just really varied, much more varied than before. That's not to say there are no classic like hold position and wait type objectives, but they found new ways to make these more interesting, like the ones where you need to stand in various control points to wirelessly hack computer systems. It forces players out of their comfort zones and doesn't let them turtle up like usual. Like, they don't want you to be turtle enough for the turtle club. They want you to adapt to survive. They've done a few things to make the heist feel more authentic as well. Like, you can trade hostages to buy time, for instance. It could give you crucial seconds to complete objectives that you're in the middle of, or set up a defense before the police assault begins. Between assaults, you can trade hostages for supplies, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but it adds an element of hostage negotiation that kind of makes it feel like you're in one of those heist movies. I love it. It's a smart addition, and it works great. And, okay, tons of praise for Payday 3, right? I could go on and on and on. This game, it's really, really good. I really enjoy it. But some stuff does have to be said. Payday 2, years of updates, right? Dozens of heists to choose from. So it feels stingy to have only 8 in this, but they're at least mostly good. My favorite's the Big Bank mission. It's got a deceptively simple layout that's actually very difficult to breach. The art gallery mission is a huge structure filled with high-tech security that is satisfying as hell to ghost, but not all of them are winners. The second mission is called Road Rage, something entirely different. It's more of a vehicle escort mission, but it's so short and simple that one run through, that was enough for me. It feels like a small part of a larger mission, but it's not. It just stops. Don't love that one, but I enjoyed the rest of them. There is also a story running through all this, but it's so secondary, it doesn't really matter. There's some slideshows you can choose to watch if you play the missions in sequential order, but there's nothing stopping you from playing any mission you want. And while each heist has some personality to spare, I couldn't really care less about the story. It's just not that well implemented. I'll give them props for trying, but it's such a minor thing that it might as well just not exist. Oh, and Ice-T is in this game for some reason. There he is. Like, he's a static picture and some voiceover, but it's Ice-T. Sure, why not? So the cutscenes are kind of whatever, but the in-game environments, they look fantastic. This game runs like a dream, too, other than this odd issue that did end up being an easy fix, but it was tough to get my resolution right. Beyond that, it ran really well, and I have not experienced any significant bugs. It did suffer from some server issues, I will say. There's a good part of the day on Thursday I was not able to play it. If I hadn't had early access, I'd have been pretty annoyed. Hopefully this isn't a trend and things stabilize in a few days. It is release day, so if there's going to be server issues, that's when it's going to happen. But I wanted to mention it. I hope things are under control soon, if they aren't already by the time this is uploaded, and people can play the game in the next few days, because if server issues continue to be a problem, that's probably going to be the only thing that could possibly make it hard to recommend this game. And I do have one other launch day complaint, but the thing is, even more than most co-op games, the quality of your experience is dependent on your team. If you're stuck with a bunch of idiots who have no idea what they're doing, you're probably not going to have a good time. Playing on public servers, I ran into a lot of day one players who were still learning controls and trying to figure out all the new gameplay systems and failing at it. It was frustrating. Seeing a guy carry the last drill part and clearly have no idea how to put it down, it was painful. Like, in these situations, your progress is also kind of held hostage. The guys got the required part to continue, and they don't drop it, and you're stuck. With a good team, however, this game is satisfying in a way that few games are. So, play with friends and have everyone on headsets, especially in higher difficulty levels. There are still good players in public, yes, and I am positive the overall experience is going to improve as people learn the game, obviously, but on day one, there are going to be a lot of players who just don't know what's going on. And missions are kind of complex, so I get it. Without a lot of explanation, it's easy to feel lost in a team of 4. Playing through the tutorial is really essential, and trying out a mission by yourself just to figure things out, not a bad idea. It is possible to try out heists solo by playing a private game. If you do that, it just generates bots to fill out your squad. I was hoping a little bit that the bots would be smarter than in previous games, but they're not great. I'm not expecting them to finish the heist for you or anything, but they can at least carry a bag on command. Yeah? No. It's not a huge deal because the game's really made to be played with friends, but for those of us without any... No, I'm joking. I guess what I'm trying to make clear, though, Payday 3, it's not a solo-friendly game. It's a little better than Payday 1 and 2 regarding that because of all the new stealth mechanics. But if you don't want to go online, you're probably not going to have a lot of fun with this game. There isn't even an offline option anymore. You got to play a private game if you want to do that. And unfortunately, that also means if the servers are down, you just can't play the game. For me, personally, I do wish they had better solo options, but I get it. This game is incredible with a good team, and that's going to be the experience that the developers prioritize. That's what they want people doing. That's what they know is their bread and butter, so that's where their focus is. But when you got a bad team, oh boy, missions can go on for a while, and you will struggle the entire time. You could end up dying right on the finish line with nothing to show for it, too. Playing a heist for 20 plus minutes, only to die and get nothing other than a little experience, sucks. Losing in this game is not a good feeling. But on the other hand, winning feels fantastic. One minor thing I like about this one is that compared to how stingy the previous game could be about cash payouts, Payday 3 is like, yeah, you're going to roll in cash ASAP. Just start winning. Like, as an example, I was able to complete the bank job with over $700,000 as my share. you can't spend that money on much unless you're high enough level. But big numbers are what you want in a game like this. I'm all for that. That's great. It works. The amount of stuff like guns and cosmetics feels pretty slim compared to Payday 2, but what's here is also all high quality. It's also reasonable to assume that in the ensuing years, they're going to do more with the game. Again, Payday 2 went for 10 years. And as I brought up a little while ago, it has a lot of great stuff in it that has been added over those years. That said, we're at the base level here and everything is quality. I really want to emphasize that. Mission design here is some of the best in the series. The levels look fantastic. They're a ton of fun to explore. Environmental design is just completely on point. It's where this game really truly shines. Character models look a little last gen, especially in the faces, but mostly you're just looking at masks anyway. The sound design, solid, especially the music, which has always been a highlight of the series, and it is just excellent here. A good heist needs an intense soundtrack, and this game more than delivers. Basically, it's more Payday. It's a sequel to a 10-year-old game. It doesn't completely reinvent the wheel, but it does make a lot of very smart changes. There's only 8 heists. It's not a lot, but what is there is mostly good. Very good, in fact. I think it's very reasonable to assume the game will have a long life and is going to get a lot of content updates in the future. Most of the problems in this game were present in the old ones, like how disorienting a new heist can feel, and how you can't just jump in and play however you want. You have to coordinate with your team. But those are also, in some ways, the reason to play Payday. I love Payday. So more of it is generally better, but otherwise, mostly the same is also fine. If you didn't like Payday 2, I don't think that this is going to change your mind on the series or anything. Unless the problem you had with Payday 2 was the limited stealth options. That's way better in this game. But in general, shooting and looting, mostly the same. It's tighter, it's smoother, definitely feels better to do, but $40 is a little pricey for what you're getting here. But if you've got Game Pass, you can try this one for the cost of a subscription. I'm enjoying it a lot. It can be frustrating and confusing at first, but that's Payday. If it's something you're interested in and you're willing to give it the time, it's probably for you. And that's all for today. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications. And as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter /X or whatever, @FalconTheHero. And we'll see you next time right here on gameranx.